everyone, it's Andy with the Reverb Tone Report, and you just heard 3 unique settings from the TONEX Pedal from IK Multimedia. And involved in those settings were amp, stompbox, and cabinet modeling. I wasn't plugged into any amplifiers or any other stompboxes. So let's take a closer look and see what this thing can do. The TONEX Pedal is the latest in a new ecosystem from IK Multimedia that gives you access to a full library of tone models that you can use with your pedal board and away from your computer. TONEX uses AI machine modeling, which is their proprietary process that captures every nuance of your complete rig, including the amp, distortion pedals, and cabinets. Even if you don't have an amp to model, you can instantly play hundreds of included tone models, which include rare, vintage tube amps, fuzz and distortion-based stompboxes, as well as current rigs from artists sharing their own tone models via the ToneNet community. To get acquainted with the full list of sounds, the TONEX Pedal easily syncs up with your Mac or PC via USB, and the librarian helps you organize and create presets to load onto the pedal's 50 banks and 3-foot switches. With the TONEX Pedal living on your board, you can still access all the advanced parameters that the software gives you. Helpful effects like pre- or post-compression, parametric EQ, various reverbs, and a noise gate allow you to fine-tune these models to perfection. Along with hundreds of IR cabinets ranging from 1x6 to 215s, VIRs, or volumetric impulse responses, take it a step further with 2 selectable microphones that can move around the cab and be blended for maximum realism. For connections, the TONEX Pedal is equipped with stereo outputs which can be sent to your PA, a headphone out, and an expression input to create multi-parameter macros. The MIDI in and out is great for syncing up with your DAW or other pedals like the X-Gear series to create a mega smart pedal board. Check out IK Multimedia for the complete scoop on TONEX technology, and look for the TONEX Pedal right here on Reverb. So just like in real life, changing the cabinet and also where the mic is positioned on that cab can have a huge influence on your overall sound. So rather than just change the EQ, let's just swap out some different cabinets here with this Dumble I have selected, which is set up for a lead sound. Now we're in the VIR cabinet, selections here. So we have a 212 twin. Watch what happens when I just go to a blue Alnico speaker. So that one's got a lot of bite, and of course you could go in and then change the treble, mid, and bass, and even the presence and depth on those alternate functions just by holding down the parameter knob. So now we're kind of back into that smooth territory like we started off with, but we have those Alnico speakers just giving a bit more warmth and a different kind of mid-range quality, which is not quite as harsh as we were before. Let's Let's get back to a tone model that's great for a clean pedal platform. You know, this one's based on an amp I play through all the time, the Deluxe, and I just have it set up for kind of a classic EQ, which is a little bit scooped and has a really warm top end, so it's going to just naturally take any overdrive or dirt pedal and not sound like a, you know, modeler pedal. You know, with a lot of modeler pedals, sometimes they give you options on the app that aren't really accessible on the pedal, but that's not the case with TONEX. Here I want to change a little bit about the character with these microphones in the VIR cab that I have here. So I could easily do it just with the parameter knob, change the distance, the position, and even the type of microphone. Now the tone model I have here is a kind of classic 90s crunch tone. That was dynamic, now here's condenser. Ribbon. Getting a little deeper, here's the X-axis. This is basically moving the mic away from the cone so it'll get darker naturally. Another thing which I was glad to see on the pedal itself as well as the app is control over the reverb type as well as the mix and the decay and all those other parameters that you really want to have at your fingertips. So let's see what kind of type we have selected. It kind of sounds more of a natural space. So it's a room. Here's spring. Kind of a shorter spring here. It's a lot more boing in the mix. You can also change the decay time of these spring settings. And a parameter that's really helpful in kind of clarifying your playing is pre-delay, and this really comes in handy, especially in the plate mode, because that's a classic, adjustment to have on a plate. darken it up too. And a couple more features you might want to pay attention to when you're going through presets is the noise gate and the compressor. You could have all kinds of control here. It's not just one parameter that you'll see when you get in there with the alternate functions here. But I'm just going to change the threshold of the compressor in this tone model, which is based off a Tiny Terror. It's one of my favorite sounds. And we can recover from that aggressive compression with some makeup gain. And while we're at it, let's try the noise gate. I'm just gonna leave my fingers off here, and you're gonna hear all kinds of 60 cycle hum and not being grounded here, and let's just increase the threshold. There we go, completely silent. And of course you could use the TONEX pedal as a regular pedal in front of your own amplifier. Of course you want to disable or even use some of the preamps and disable the cabinet since you're going through an actual cabinet. And you could still use all the other features like the compressor, the noise gate, the reverb, and of course those modeled stomp boxes. So let's try a couple of those presets, starting off with a classic DS1 sound, going into my clean, real deluxe reverb. Well, as you can see, the TONEX pedal can fill a lot of spots in your pedal board or even in your rig as an amp replacer. And you can find out more right here on Reverb. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.